Hi everyone, I'm going to go over how to add a slider to your gallery page. So here I'm going to work on this file. So let's go ahead and open that in HTML. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to manage my site. Make sure that I'm pointing to this folder. So it's going to be desktop, this one, and I'm going to make sure, so that is really important in order to access the files and make sure that my links don't break. As you could see, I only have one index file and I have an images folder, and I've created another subfolder inside of the images folder that's going to consist the 3 images that I'm going to be using for the carousel. Again, make sure all of your pictures are the same size. So you could see that these ones, I've resized them to 600 by 400, which is, I think it's going to be actually, if for the banner, I would need it to be larger, but for the purpose of this exercise, I'm just going to leave it as it is. But let's say if you were to if you want to add it to the entire banner, you want to kind of make sure that the width is consistent. So this one, for example, is 1580 pixel. So so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this photo, and you could see that automatically it'll highlights in the code. So I want to do a couple of things. I want to add a bit of a space between my carousel and the top banner. So I'm going to go ahead and click on above the image, and I'm going to move this down here, move this up, make sure I'm on my insert, make sure I'm on bootstrap component, and choose carousel. As soon as I do that, you see that it kind of populates just above the image, which I'm going to eventually delete. But right now I'm going to do a couple of things. Like I said, I want to add a bit of spacing to the top part of my carousel, so there's some breathing room here. So as you could see here, also on my dome, it highlights the div. So, and you could see the way that I can confirm that the correct HTML has been selected is that you could see the blue tone on covering the code. So that would be your indication that the code is being highlighted and targeted. I'm going to go ahead and choose CSS Designer, and you could see the tag that I'm looking for is carousel example indicator 1. So I'm going to come back here and make sure that I'm on all. So we're going to just type in carousel, and as soon as I do type CARO, you can see that it populates. So I'm going to click on the class, carousel class, and again, that's when you see a dot in front of the name of the selectors, that it's considered a class. I'll go over the difference between different types of classes and IDs selectors at a later video tutorial. So for now, I just want to make sure that I add some spacing to the top of my carousel. And as soon as I type it, make sure you're on all. Make sure you've defined your site, and the first option populates. And I'm going to move down to my margin, and I just want to make sure this is unlocked. And I'll just add like maybe 25 pixel. And you could see that it just shifts it down. You can kind of see it happening. Maybe live, maybe it'll do 35. actually. So this is how you can target the position of your carousel. And I'm going to save my document. And I'm going to go ahead and now change the images. So I'm going to actually copy this and move that here and just change it to carousel. So these gray notations are going to really help the design, whoever is going to be, let's say somebody else is going to take over your design at a later time when you work on group projects. So these notes would be really, really helpful for them. And it's good to do that as soon as you insert your carousel. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this picture. So now I'm going to go back up here, and the carousel by default comes with 3 image settings. Let's say I want to have 5 or 6. So all you're going to have to do is identify the beginning and the end for each of these carousels. So I'm going to go ahead and this identifies as carousel item active, and you can see a placeholder PNG. So I'm going to move this down. Again, it's going to be each one has an opening and 2 closing divs. I'm going to move this down, and this is going to be the very finalized one. That's why it has the 3 divs. So I'm going to come back to the middle one, and I'm just going to copy the code. Again, 1 closing div, 1 opening div, 2 closing div. That's so you don't want to copy the first one, and you definitely don't want to copy the last one. You want to copy the middle one. And then 5. And as you could see, I have options for the 5 images. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I want to do 6, but these icons, they didn't change. So what I'm going to have to do now, I'm going to come back up here, make sure I'm on my code. It just makes it a little easier. And you could see the indicator right here. It's 0, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. So what I want to do now, I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to actually, I'm going to just simply copy this. This is a list tag. I'm going to move down. The OL stands for ordered list. So you want to be above that. I'm going to paste that. We had 6 of them, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just kind of keep it nice and organized. And I'm simply going to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the 0, it will be 6. So now if I save, if I go back to my split view, you could see that I have now these 6 options. And I'm going to open up this images folder. Let's see here. These are very cute pictures. So I'm going to review the resizing, because remember that I'm going to show you the picture that I'm going to insert, but I only have 3 of them. And they're also kind of small. So I'll insert them so you can see how they're going to look, and then I'll go and resize a couple of pictures. So if I click here, this is pointing to a placeholder. I'm going to go to my window, properties, panel, make sure you move it up, and if you click it, it highlights here. So you want to click on the folder and gallery image. I'm going to choose 1, and I'm going to, and you can change the heading for and the text for each of these pictures. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on the second picture, click it a couple of times, and then I confirm that it's pointing to the placeholder, and click on the folder and just point to the picture, and then again click identify, point to the picture. And I think, and as you could see, because I've organized the images that go inside the carousel, it's it just points to them. It's just much easier to find them and organize them. So now if I preview this, it's kind of small, but and I don't have those other pictures, but if I had them, that's how you would want to place them in there. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to resize. So we had the Fernando's image, the initial image of the cat. Go back here. Front picture, there we go. So let's say this one, I'm going to open it up in Photoshop, and I just image size 15 by 80. Let's say I want to do 1200 by 430. So that I can use this as my template, and want to make sure that it's 72 dpi, which it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab these other pictures that he has in there. This one is actually not a good one, but let's try another one. So let's say this is one of them. You can just resize, and then I could just do save as, save to the computer. You can go to the carousel, save a copy, and then either JPEG or PNG. I'm gonna say cat 01, and I'll just put it in here. And let's do another one. Oh, that's the same one. I don't want to do that one. Maybe we'll do, oops. Oh, this is sad. So make sure you find pictures. I'm resizing them, but you probably want to find pictures that are larger to begin with. So you don't have to actually resize them the way that I'm doing it. I just have to do it this way because of the fact that, let's see here. That I don't want to go look for other images. So save a copy, and then carousel. And confirm this, that the size is not too large. So now if I come back here, let's say I go to this placeholder, and then I'll go to this placeholder. Okay, and then confirm the pictures have changed. Like this one, so this one has not changed, so I'm gonna click it. You have to sometimes click twice. Okay, I'm gonna save it. You could see that the image now fills a larger portion of your frame, and even you can even make it larger than this. So so if I want to have an image that's even larger and fills the larger space, if I do Command I, so this particular image is 1580 wide. So again, you want to make sure all of the images you're using is the same and make sure they're not too tall. So let's say I come back to one of the pictures that I have here. Let's say the first one. So you can simply, and then if you hover, you can see the actual picture as I just, yeah, there you go. And the alt tag is basically you want to make sure the same information that you have, like it should, you can simply copy this information or call it like image 1, for example, in this area. So let's go ahead and click that, and I'm gonna just, I think I didn't put it in the carousel folder, so I'm gonna just choose this one. I'm gonna save it and preview it. Let's do Chrome. You could see that it's completely filling the entire page. So again, if you want your page to basically the images to bleed out of the carousel frame, you want to make it quite large. So this was like 1580. These ones were, I think, 400 by 600. You could see that the other one looks so much better, and then this one was 1200. So definitely I think the first size you know, is the best one, but you just want to make sure you crop it a little bit more from the height so that you don't lose a lot of real estate here. So that is how you create a carousel, import your pictures and size them for your banners, for your home page.